Licuala Spinosa, spiny Licuala or mangrove fan palm. Licuala is a genus of about 100 small to medium palmate leaf palms. These palms are native to Southeast Asia and Indonesian islands. The Licualas contribute to the dense undergrowth and rainforest regions in these areas. This here is a Licuala Spinosa. It is one of the largest distributions in the genus. The spiny Licuala palm is a motile, clustering, and sucking palm reaching heights of 15 to 20 foot and can expand up to 15 foot wide. The individual trunks hold anywhere from 7 to 17 fan-shaped leaves. The upper trunk areas of the palm is covered with leaf bases and fibers. So let's take a look at this. You can see that this palm right here, which does reach about 15 to 16 feet, it is field grown. I am here at a nursery in Boynton Beach at Juan Mercao's Exotic Collectors. We are taking a look at this clustering palm, which you can see the multiple trunks there. This one does have about 15 trunks, and you can see here it is shooting off new growth. If we clear this away without getting poked, we do have new trunk growth starting there. You can also notice that at the top of the palm it is covered with the leaf bases, and then as they do fall off as the tree ages and the trunk ages, it does become smooth and grayish tone in color. This one does have some marks from where it got hit, and those will not heal. This is the younger growth. This younger growth happens to be, the new shoots that are developing. They will reach the width before they start to shoot up, and you can see a good shot of the leaf-based fibers and the leaf bases that are still attached to the stem. They are brownish tan in color. Taking a closer look at the petiole, which reached anywhere from 3 to 4 foot in length, we notice that it is heavily armed with triangular thorns or spines that stick out, usually in a downward angle or out. They can do damage if they are not cut properly or handled properly when trimming. These guys range anywhere from a yellowish greenish to a dark green. They do have a waxy kind of texture to them. They also have some of the brownish totem, which is that fuzzy stuff that you see on there. That right there would be the spar leaf getting up to the top. All the way up. That's the spar leaf. That is the hostula, which holds all the leaf blade segments. This one I'm measuring about 3 foot wide, and it is almost a perfect circle. The spiny Licuala is one of the cold, hardier species of the Licuala genus and is adaptable to zones 10 through 11. It grows best in shade with lots and lots of water. Yet, like most palms, she is adaptable. As the Licuala Spinosa matures, it can adapt to full sun and can handle all kinds of periods of droughts. However, please take into consideration that if you deprive or intend to deprive a palm from basic nutrients to try to conserve water, this is probably not the palm you want to use in your landscape. Okay, so maintenance of the Licuala Spinosa is very, very interesting. But knowing me, I love things that are thorny and a pain in the butt to trim. This guy here hasn't been trimmed for a while. They are self-pruning, meaning that those leaves will eventually fall off and the leaf base will still be connected, surrounded by some of the leaf-based fibers. Now, if you can see here, I did trim up this palm before I started to record these videos. And you can see how I trimmed very, very close in a downward angle just to make sure that I was going to prevent any kind of diseases from getting in there. That leaf was actually extremely yellow and needed to come off. So, you know, that being the spar leaf, you want to make sure that you protect that leaf. The typical meristem is under there. We want to make sure that that remains super healthy. And then you can tell, like, this was not cut off. It was probably broke off or chewed off by some kind of creature. And here is another one that I had, you know, been able to give it a clean cut. That way we're just making sure that the palm was cleaned up. It does look nice when it's cleaned up. It does give you that kind of tropical feel. And the leaves are really beautiful to look at. I want to also make note that the tips of the leaf aren't your typical leaf tips. They are squared off. So even knowing that they create a perfect circle, the leaf tips are square, which that also gives it a pretty cool effect. Let me tell you a little bit about the culture of this palm. This is the Licuala Spinosa. This one here happens to be as old as I am. It was planted in 1983. The owner here, Juan Mercado, has several on the property. They are field grown, so they need to be trimmed up. However, you're able to see what kind of texture this would give in the landscaping. This is something that you would want to use if you had a very large wall and wanted to create an environment with a tropical feeling. Something that if you're here in South Florida and it's all very standard and very formal and you wanted to kind of break up that vibe and add something to make an area stand out or bring a little bit of the islands into your landscaping, you would use something like this. I wouldn't recommend this if you had children or dogs, unless they're my kids because they know better. However, just as a safety precaution, because the petiole is heavily armed plant. So these Licuala palms can be used with heavy dense tropical foliage underneath. Using plants like Schefflera arbicola ternets and using Queen Rios would make the Licuala Spinosa stand out in a space. However, making sure that you have an adequate space, because like I said earlier, this palm is 15 foot wide. It would fill up an area and it does like lots of water, but it brings something out of the norm into a landscape, which is awesome and amazing. Some people I've talked to said that they were going to use this as a hedge. Now, I want to explain this to you guys because, you know, the 6 P's. Piss poor planting promotes poor performance. Now, if you're going to put this plant as a hedge, yes, you will get the height, because as we can see, this guy behind me is about the 15 foot, 20 foot mark, which even knowing that's a big gap, but you can still see through it. You can still see through that palm. I wouldn't use it as a hedge. Maybe if it was next to a water source, which here at this nursery it kind of is. It just doesn't fill out as hedge quality. And when I think of a hedge, I want something solid in my yard. But there it is, and some people have used it as a hedge in previous places. A smaller version of the Licuala Spinosa, not technically this size, can be used as an excellent indoor palm as long as your pot is double lined, meaning you don't want water to come out of the pot onto your floor or soil to spill, etc. So just make sure that that palm is double lined before putting it in an indoor use. On top of that, it will require more water than other palms that can be used as indoor landscaping. Besides landscaping, the Licualas have some awesome uses. Young shoots can be cooked or eaten with Thai shrimp paste and chili sauce. It's a delicacy dish that's used in Southeast Asia. The young leaves are also used as wrappings for foods such as glutinous rice dishes and desserts. The Licuala Spinosa does hold some medicinal properties. The bark is used in combination with other plants for a treatment for tuberculosis. In Bora on an island in Indonesia, the leaf's fireproof durability is a crucial utility in preparing blowpipe dart poison. The latex of Anthracis toxaria is held on the floated boat-shaped young leaves of this plant and then held over a small plant for about a week. That is extremely good to know if you're in the business of making some poisonous blow darts. Now, you never know when you're going to need some poisonous blow